So after spending a couple of weeks now in the Outer Hebrides, we thought we'd give you our top tips for if you're coming over with a campervan or a motorhome. There are quite a few, but we think they're ones that you might find useful. So, number one, fill up with fuel whenever you can. We're pretty lucky we've got a big tank because it's an ex-ambulance, so we're not having to fill up as regularly as vehicles that have got smaller tanks, but fuel stations are few and far between, aren't they?
And the prices vary quite dramatically.
Yeah, by about 20p a litre, to be honest. So I would say fill up whenever you can.
And the nearer the ports you are, the more expensive it seems. They're just around the corner. It's
yeah,
cheaper.
It can be quite a bit cheaper.
But then on some of the islands, there's only the one filling station, isn't there? So,
yeah.
You're a bit trapped.
So make sure you've got fuel.
As soon as you have an idea of your route, start booking ferries. If you know you're going to be wanting a ferry between the islands on a particular day, book it. You can always change it. We found it was very easy to change, but as long as you've got a booking, you've got a particular date, you're guaranteed that date.
Yeah.
But if you end up at the ferry a little bit earlier, want an earlier ferry,
chances are you'll get on, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, we've done it a couple of times. There's no problem. And you just go into the unbooked lane, and if there's room, they'll get you on the next ferry.
And CalMac have been really, really helpful with that, haven't they?
Yeah.
At every place we've been to. But it's worth having those intra-island ferries booked ahead with a provisional date at least for you.
And rather than bringing food for the whole of your trip, remember shops and co-ops here are available, and they do rely on summer trade and visitors to see them through the winter. So there are plenty of small shops, community hubs, and all sorts of places to get stocked up on, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, we were advised to bring plenty of food, but honestly, we've not touched any of the food that we brought, tins or anything. We've not needed to. There's plenty of fresh stuff around.
And the fresh stuff is fresh.
It is fresh because it comes over regularly on the ferries anyway.
Yeah. As I say, they rely on your custom to keep them going through the winter. But bear in mind, most places are shut on Sundays and sometimes Mondays as well. So you might need to just think about that, especially if you're arriving on a Saturday. There's not a lot open coffees or anything on a
Sunday. No. It's they're quite religious islands, and they follow the old ways, which is actually quite nice. And
that brings us on to another one. The old ways. Slow down and accept island time. Some shops and cafes and pubs, they say they're open at a particular time, but they're not. Ish. It's an ish.
It's an ish time. And to be honest, we've found that quite a lot of places that you'd expect to be open at 9 aren't open until 10:30, including coffee shops and cafes and shops.
Yeah. And then, again, when you're driving, there's no real need to race around. They're all single track lanes, or most of the roads are single tracks. So that you have to be prepared to pull in and let people pass all over the place. There's very few and far between main dual carriage, well, not dual carriageways, but dual roads.
Dual roads, no. So, and there are, as Keith said, there's plenty of pulling in places, so give way.
And like everybody says, don't drive on the Macca. These are sort of the sand dune areas, which are very fertile, and it's protecting not only the environment, but there's bird nestings and all sorts on the Macca. So just be respectful of that.
If you're going to free park, i.e. wild camp in your motorhome or your campervan, just respect the islanders. Don't park in front of the houses. We've seen it a few times and it doesn't look good, and it doesn't do campervanners, motorhomers any favours. There are places on park for night you'll find
Yeah. And don't park in the
pull-ins,
passing bays.
Passing bays, no. We've seen that as well. We've even seen that in with caravans, which isn't good. But if you are going to stay on campsites, bear in mind that during the summer months, from May through till the end of August, early September, they can get booked up. So if you're planning on staying on sites, then do book ahead as much as you can anyway. We're in mid-May now, and we've seen sites that are really busy as we've driven past.
Be prepared to be stuck a little bit. Ferry cancellations do happen, breakdowns, weather-related, all sorts of things can affect the ferries, running of the ferries. So be prepared. Have a bit of a backup plan. So we have. We're going not right at the end of our holiday. We've got a journey back to Nottingham, as you know. So we're going a little bit. We're giving ourselves a bit of time to get back there. But the ferry that we're catching from Castle Bay has been out of action for almost a week.
Yeah.
So, but it is back and running now. But yeah, a lot of people were stuck and having to find alternative routes.
It's also the same if you're not coming in a camper van. If you're flying in and staying in B&Bs or hotels or whatever, the flights have been cancelled because of breakdowns. One of the planes had broken down.
Do pack for all seasons. The weather can change very quickly.
There's a saying on the islands that you can see 4 seasons in one day. Luckily, we haven't yet. But you can see rain, and then 10 minutes later it can be bright sunshine, and guaranteed that most of the time it's going to be windy. So bringing us on to the windy bit, people will warn you about the midges at this time of year, in the spring, summer. Invariably on the islands, they don't get midges because there's always a breeze, and the midges don't like breezes. So you'll be very unlucky if you get attacked by a cluster of midges.
Always have cash on you. Some shops only accept cash, which is ideal. We like to use cash, as you know. It avoids bank charges. The bank charges these days for small operations, small businesses, are crippling them. So cash, as we always say, £10 spent in cash is £10 that they have, rather than £8 or £9 after the bank charges. So it's good to offer cash, and people do appreciate it.
Always have a load of small change with you. And by small change, I mean pound coins, 50p's, because you're going to see a lot of honesty boxes, and they're going to appreciate the change. And if you are going to go to an honesty box, honestly, you're going to want to spend money, because there's some tasty treats in them.
There are. Get rid of your rubbish where you can. There are bins around, and people, in the ports and all round areas. Just get rid of it as you can as you go.
But having said that, there aren't a lot of public bins just in towns. So
no.
We found it more in ports, harbours. It's been easier to get rid of rubbish. Yeah. And please don't use bins that are outside people's houses, because
that's their rubbish.
That's their rubbish. That's they pay their council tax for that.
Any others?
Enjoy your holiday, because honestly,
when you've got beaches like this, although the water's a bit cool at the moment, it's only May, but the sunshine's lovely. So just enjoy it.
Just enjoy it, and guarantee you'll want to come back. So I hope that's helped. Just a few little tips that we've thought might be handy to pass on. And we're going to wander off now and leave you with this view. Thanks for watching.